The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. How did y'all meet Scott?
Did we meet Scott? It's one of those things where it's entirely possible, given the nature of Smaltimore, given the nature of the music scene in Baltimore, Maryland, that Chuck and I have met Scott at some point in the years, playing in one of his previous bands. Do I remember specifically when it was? Does Scott remember? Absolutely not. But right. When we did finally again meet face to face last year when we went up to play in New Platts, he was like, "Hey, yeah, and I was in this band. I was like, all right, well, I've definitely seen those bands. For sure, I've seen those bands. So for sure, we've been in the same room and we've met. It's been 20 some years." Right. I was gonna say he was a DC kid, right? He started out in DC, I think. And yep. And did a lot of playing in bands in DC and Baltimore back and forth. That's a whole corridor right there of people trucking back and forth. So he's been around the scene, working, doing stuff, putting out records, being punk for a long time. And that's that's kind of how I think the way that I said it when we met him last year was like, oh yeah, we went to punk rock together. Yeah, that's how we know each other. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good story for a lot of people too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in passing and stuff like that, and especially I don't know. So I there was a time where I had a bunch of bands from either DC or Baltimore on it, within a short time frame, and so I got confused on who was who afterwards. Because I said, I'm old and I forget things, but it seemed like it was they coexist pretty well together. You know what I mean? So absolutely. Out here, I always say New England, because whether you're in Providence or Portland, Maine, or in Boston or in Hartford, we all kind of run in the same, you know what I mean? The same circles with everything. Totally. And I like that. I don't know. I like the new. It's I grew up in a little town in Rhode Island, and then I got into Boston punk in the late '90s, and and I moved out to Massachusetts and stuff, and it's just I've always had a sense of pride for the music here, and then over the years with doing the podcast, I meet people from different areas, and I feel like Baltimore to DC has the same kind of they're proud of what they're doing and what's out there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. There are so many similarities between the Boston and the greater Boston area, and Salem up into Providence, that whole area, and kind of Baltimore and Philly and DC, especially Baltimore and DC, though, being closer to the water. There's so much in common. There's so much commonality. In the 2000s, Converge would be coming down to Baltimore. American Nightmare would be coming down. So many good good bands from Boston would come through, a couple times a year, and every time, the room's packed and people are going off just because that's the vibe. You know what I mean? We recognized each other. Yeah. I also say it's cool because you see that in an alternate universe, right? I was a big baseball fan growing up, and and everything, and
Baltimore was always a place where like, and they were in the same division, right? So the
Yep.
Red Sox, yeah, but there was always like a respect thing there. You know what I mean? It
Yep.
wasn't like, like the Yankee and the Red Sox brawls. It wasn't anything like that. There was a different atmosphere. And I know a lot of, especially like when the Red Sox finally started winning, like we couldn't afford to go there, so a lot of people would go down to Baltimore.
Yep.
Like,
It's true.
Beautiful park. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I like how that kind of, because like I've never really, the whole like rivalry thing with places, or even like among like an art, like music or sports, or I just never really got into that. I have plenty of enemies, don't get me wrong, but like I'm just like that's different, right? Like this, like I'm not gonna like hate somebody. I do. There's like I'm not a I can't stand like New England Patriot fans. But that's because they're arrogant
They're the
douchebags.
worst.
Yeah, they're the absolute worst. Like they don't remember when they were losing teams, like when they were a losing team. You know what I mean? So I feel like I used to talk to people about sports, and I'd talk about the Red Sox, and I'd be like, I talk to somebody and they love their team. Say they love, like, I don't know, like we'll just like the Detroit Lions or something. I'm like, you guys love your team and they're losers. Like I was like,
No, that's
the Red
true
Sox
love.
wins,
Yeah.
and I get mad. I'm like, you could have won better. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's like a weird thing there, but like,
No, I get it.
but like I think camaraderie within the art, within like music and stuff like that, I think it's you get a lot further.
So I want to ask you this, because this is a thing that I think about, because I'm a weird old guy. In the late 90s, I feel like that was kind of for several reasons, the internet just being one of them, that sort of was the last era of there being a balkanization amongst music scenes, right? Like the Boston crew might not get along with the New York crew, who doesn't like, the DC, like, you know what I mean? Or like guys from the West Coast be like, East Coast bands, whatever, like stuff, even just between like Philly and Baltimore, or Baltimore and DC, like even that was a thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
But since I don't know, if over the last 10 or so years, maybe, I don't know when it started, but it seems like now there's way less of that. And it's way more of sort of the way it seemed to be in maybe the early 80s punk scene, where there were all these regional flavors, but it was more like these are all like outposts of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like these are all like little star bases out in space, and everyone is the same kind of punk rock alien. It's just they speak a slightly different dialect on Mars than they do on Neptune, right? Like, I think
I do, and I see it within genres too, right? Like for a long time, like hardcore kids wouldn't fuck with the punk rock kids, like, right? And even though they were like and like it made no sense, right? Or you get like the metal kids wouldn't even, I'm never gonna play a punk show, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like,
yeah,
I see so much of that, and I love that. I love a diverse bill like that.
Absolutely.
Right? I want to hear different sound. I don't want to hear the same band 3 times in a row. You know what I mean? So I think there is, and I think just people in their own styles of music now too is very like, all right, well, we're gonna try this too. We're gonna, I have a feeling like, art, if you pigeonhole yourself and be like, we can only do this, then like you're not allowing yourself to grow as an artist. And so like when bands do something different, I'm like, yeah, like I like that. I don't know. That's just me speaking though.
Even if I don't necessarily like what they do, like one of the things that I love about hardcore as a genre, right, is that I feel like it's one of the genres where you really can do whatever. You can try to get away with whatever. You want to drop in a drum and bass track, like you're Refused, and you want to drop in a jazz track, Turnstile, and you want to do like, some stuff that sounds like Incubus. Like it's a dare, right? You do that stuff and you're like, all right, so is it still hardcore? Where's the genre? Where's the edge? Where's the boundary? How far can we push it? I dare you to tell me it's not hardcore. And I kind of love that aggressive confrontational pushing of the edges of the genre. Like it's aggressively developing, not just like, oh, and then suddenly it turned into this. No, people are like hacking away with pickaxes, digging out new spaces. And I love that.
Yeah, no, I would say too, like, not just our shows now feeling like the live shows we go to, are feeling like a good mix. Like you're having metal, punk, like some emo resurgence, us. But it's like even just bands that are hardcore, it you put us all in a room and it just sounds like it's all hardcore, but it all sounds so different, and we're like drawing different people, but yet everyone is getting to experience things that they wouldn't have listened to before, but they're going to this show because their buddies in this band and they're coming and hearing all different types of music. And I think like what's cool is, before, like I'm a little younger, so you guys are having old man conversations and it's fine.
It's
Uh,
all right.
but I like grew up in the like emo screamo scene, Christian hardcore kind of shit. And so like for me it's just fun to see how like hardcore now is so open. Like uh you can sing, you can scream, you can talk poetically, you can do what I call socking, which is like sing talking, like
Mhm.
Me Without You, bands like that. Uh but yeah, anyway, not to babble, but no, I like really like where hardcore is right now. And I like the idea that we're trying to have a bigger tent, so to say.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that, Nikki, because like I'm listening to Trash Diva, and like you do this thing where you go from calm to vicious, like
Mhm.
every other word. How do you get the cadence to do that? Like that would mess me up. How would you know what word? And when and like with lyrical, like when you I don't know if you write the lyrics or whatever, but like when you're looking at the lyrics, like how do you know what's gonna be like? What's going to be vicious and what's good, and that's the only way I can describe it. Like you go from calm to vicious, you know what I mean, and then right back
Yeah.
to calm. Like how do you pinpoint that?
I don't know. I think like I have a lot of like weird influences I pull from, like even like old school Rage Against the Machine, or parts where it's like it's that light like and then it just hits you hard. And I also feel like this is like I've played bass in a lot of different bands since I was like 14. This is the first band like my only focus is vocals. I'm not just background vocals, I'm vocals. And so I'm kind of come to the band with an open mind as far as like what I'm trying to do. Uh, and so I really try hard not to pigeonhole myself, and I try and follow the music and the dynamics and follow like Mike and Chuck, our drummer, and our bass player. Uh, just trying to like vibe with where the music's going. And sometimes it just feels like, oh no, this is a part where I should build up like that, like I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of feel it out, and I try not to imitate things too much. I just try and be like, let me see how this sounds. And if it sounds good, I'll check with the guys and they won't lie to me. They'll let me know if it sucks and we'll do something else.
Now does that kind of like what Mike said, like the challenge, right? Is that
Hmm.
like the challenge for you when it comes to that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think like the challenge is trying to make something that sounds good, that is hardcore, but also is unique. Like I want like Trash Diva is a hardcore band. I want to be a hardcore band. I want to stay in that sound. Like or in that umbrella. At the same time, like when you hear us, I want it to be like, oh wow, like everything's different from like the choices that the bass player makes to like the way the vocals go at this part. Like love it or hate it, you'll recognize it. And I think that's kind of our goal.
Yeah, we want to sound like us,
Yeah.
whatever that might mean. And for me, that usually means trying to overcome the internal critic, judgment, censor, editor that goes like, that riff's whatever. That riff's not so good. Like it's whatever it is we did, let's finish it out and see if that song sucks or not. And if it doesn't suck, then we're playing it. And if we're playing it, then that's what we sound like. So like trying to be more spontaneous, I guess, is
Being more spontaneous, and then I feel like also like cutting back at times. Like I even know like for us, just as we've been writing, sometimes it'll be like, wait, it's just like 4 chords that we're playing for like 30 seconds. That works. Like we don't need anything else. Like we don't need to go crazy, or I can keep the same melodic scream going to then when we transition to something else, I can do something more dynamic.
Mhm.
So I think it's just kind of like us both trying to like do original things, but also like I think you are so talented as a guitar player. I know you don't want to hear it. You're so talented that it's the overcritic. And so sometimes I'm just like, Mike, you're doing great. Like,
Yeah,
it's good.
I do
It's
need
good.
to tell myself to shut up and play.
Yeah, just shut up and play. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we do,
I know
songs
it-
get written, so it works. It just,
Mhm.
I have to, producer me has to keep guitar player me in line, because that guy is an idiot. He plays fine, his riffs are cool, but that guy's a moron. He will ruin everything if I, producer me, don't keep him in line. That just is a fact.
Yeah. No, I get that. I do that a lot. My problem with like when I write is like I don't know, the little kid in me is like, you're terrible at this. Stop it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like I have to like overcome that and then be like, all right, just who, like, because I used to write, and I've talked about this all the time on the podcast, but like I used to write for the perfect draft, and you can't do that,
Nope.
right?
Uh-huh.
So like I've taken like I've got like the coaching me is like, just finish it. Don't worry about that sentence right now. Go and finish this, and then we'll go back later on, you know? So
Absolutely.
You know,
Shout
yeah,
out to my friend Thages, who helped me learn the lesson that shipped beats perfect
Mhm.
every day of the
Mm.
week in the marketplace or whatever.
Hell yeah. I think that's a good one. That's a good one. I might hang
Yeah.
on to that one.
Yeah. You got to get it out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
You can't sink it if you don't shoot the shot, and the shot's
Hell
not
yeah.
going to get shot if you're just smoothing that ball out over and over again.
Mm-hmm. That makes absolute sense. Makes absolute sense. I like that. I like that.
And that's why I'm bad at guitar. That's my excuse. I'm shipping.
I think I like it, man. I like the sound of Trash Diva.
Thank you.
So I hadn't heard you guys. So I was talking with Scott. I produced his other podcast, and
Cool.
like, and and I have a record club, so like we've dealt with that in the past, and like we met like on on like an internet like group for people in the world, right? Kind of like what his podcast is, where he talks to people like, not like, he'll talk to musicians but not about music, right? About the other things they do. And like
I love
that's
that.
kind of what like this group was, and him and I met through there, and like we were talking, and then he moved, he moved out to that like corridor in New York and stuff, and like and like I'm like, oh, we're closer now. We still haven't gotten together, but because that's more my fault than his. So, but so like it's when he was like, oh yeah, we I've got this split coming up, and I was like, oh cool, and we were talking. I'm like, yeah, let me listen to it, so he let me listen, and I like when I don't think 20 songs as a split. You know what I mean? Like I was like a split. You guys are gonna have like 6 apiece. It's gonna be, it's gonna sound good, but like it was like it was, I'm like, this is amazing. Like I liked the because I'm an album guy, right? So like I love EPs, and I love when people release a song, but like I need to be able to feel the whole thing.
Yeah. Same.
And and as far as live records are concerned, Scott puts out really good ones.
Yes, he does.
They're so good.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, let me, and then I was like, wow, I'm getting 10 tracks from each band. Like this is amazing,
Cool.
So
yeah,
and so that was like, it was awesome, and I was like, yeah, well, let's do this. You know what I mean? So
awesome, love that.
Yeah, and like I said, I checked out your Bandcamp, and was listening to stuff there, and like I listened to like the album, the self-title and everything, and I dig it. I think like I always like, just off the top of my head, whatever I think about when I'm listening to something for the first time, and I wrote down like, take no shit hardcore with the stink face metally bass, like it's
I don't
awesome.
mind if you do call us that. Yeah.
Mind that one.
And it really picked up for me like The Bad Life, and I'm trying to read my own handwriting here, sorry. No Chill, those 2 songs were really like, with that bass was just like really
slapping.
and both songs are amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm just
Annie
like,
is great.
I like when people kind of like, we don't have to be this one this one sound, we can add in these other things and kind of make it happen, and then I don't like genres. I'm just like, it's all rock and roll. You know, it's all
It's
just
rock
it's
at the end
just
of the
music.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so like, because like it's some people want to be so specific, and I'm like, I just like, you know, so like when we do a turntable episodes once a month, I get together with a couple other people, we bring recommendations, and like whenever they bring something, like whenever somebody brings something that like has a unique sound, like I'll string together like 65 genres just to like kind of, you know what I mean, just
Yep.
to make, you know, have fun with it, right? And be like,
Totally.
because some people are just so like, no, that's not punk, that's this, and I was like, what the fuck is the difference, you know?
Oh, I'm
Like,
definitely one of those jerks. I have a lot of very strong, deep in my heart emotional feelings about what is and is not punk. It's a
yeah.
big wide tent, but oh boy, there sure is some stuff that is definitively not punk. You know what I mean?
So
But also,
awesome.
I
That's a
recognize that that's
neurodivergence,
me
yeah.
being a jerk.
No.
Even if I'm right. But it's also it's just fun to try to put words to what that music is and like talk to people about what they hear in it. You know, someone might be like, "Oh, this reminds me of Alice in Chains," and I'm like, "Wow, that sounds like Letters to Cleo to me." You hear Alice in Chains? How? How do
yeah.
you know what I mean? But like once they explain it, I'll go, well, holy shit, I hear it. It does
Yeah.
kind of sound son of a bitch. Like I love that kind of stuff. I think
Yeah, me
that's
too, yeah.
one of the most fun ways to enjoy music other than playing it.
So I have this record club, and it's I got it from like the website getpunk.com. It was their record club, and he was like, he kind of got rid of, he's like, I'm kind of like phasing it all out. Do you want to take it over? Because I was a member for years, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it over.
It's awesome.
So like I say punk and punk adjacent, and I do use adjacent pretty loose.
That's fine.
but like for me, it's like, I don't know. I think it's more of like a, like, especially with a lot of this stuff, like if you know, like I've had this it's really like, he calls it like what do you call it? Appalachiana is kind of what he calls it. But he has punk rock. He came from a punk background, right? So it's like like the lyrically or the message is still there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So like it's hard for me to be like, well, I can't, like, because I also want to, like, the members, I kind of want to like, hey, like, give this a shot. You might like this. Like,
right.
You know, it might not be that straight like pop punk sound that you like, or that straight hardcore punk sound that you like, but like listen to what the guy's saying, or listen to like how he's doing this thing, you know? And I'm really like I said, I play fast and loose with the adjacent tag, and sometimes it bites me. Sometimes I get an email from a member and they're like, hey, like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, hey, like,
that's fine. How else are we gonna find the edges of where punk rock is?
Yeah.
Like I think that is, I mean, I'll go another step with you. Personally, I would consider hip hop to be at least punk rock adjacent.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if not just like direct cousins.
Yeah.
Like as musical genres. They came out of the same places at the same time, the same circumstances, like that. At bare minimum, I consider hip hop to be punk rock adjacent, in the same way that kind of current modern Appalachian protest music that is maybe folk based, I would also consider to be punk adjacent at the very least. They share a DNA. I think it was Greg Graffin from Bad Religion once said that punk rock is just electric folk music. And that's not wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does make sense, actually.
Yeah,
so
that
like,
makes sense.
It's like I'm gatekeepery about what is and isn't punk, but that really is so much from like an ethical and moral standpoint. It is definitely not from a musical standpoint, because musically, like that goes all the way from what like the Monks, that band from the 60s. Are you familiar with them?
I remember them. Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I wasn't around.
Sure, of course, but like it goes at least from stuff like that all the way up through like Atari Teenage Riot, and I would argue stuff like MF Doom would fall kind of on. He's at least hanging out smoking a blunt outside of the punk rock tent, like dipping in every now and then. You know what I mean? Like those borders are wide.
NERD, like those, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure.
Those borders are wide and porous.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So tell me, so you got Trash Diva around 2023 is when the project kind of got started, or?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it was like early 2023. Yeah, it's like around January, February.
Yeah. What makes this the project for you two? Like this, I mean, it's awesome. Like, I just kind of like, I like to pick people's brains on like the project, like, because like, I mean, it seems like you guys play a lot out, right? You play out a lot and everything, and
the last year has been tougher for playing out for a variety of reasons, but I don't know, I think we've got 7 shows booked in the next couple months. We're booking out the summer and the fall now, trying to get.
I just knew it was a
back to
lot.
it.
I don't know the number.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
Yeah. So I guess the answer is mostly yes to playing lots of shows. What makes this like why this band? Why did we do this?
Yeah.
Why
like,
why are you doing this, you weirdos?
No, not even that. Just like what about this project like gets you like hooks in you. You know what I'm saying?
Guitar go jun jun jun. Sometimes it go, and that really, I'm not even kidding. That's
No,
really,
you really like those sounds.
So Chuck and Annie and I, Annie our bass player, Chuck our drummer, 3 of us were in a band called Queen Wolf. That was like a heavy alt rock band, basically, that I was singing and playing guitar in, and Chuck was playing drums. Annie's playing bass. There was a lead guitar player. It was a 4-piece. And I was driving home from Baltimore Comic-Con in October 2022. Listening to what was at that time the new Every Time I Die album, and I realized, I don't want to sing at people. I want to go jun 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 at them and scream at them. I want to get back to Chuck and I met, and for many years had played in a hardcore band, and then eventually ended up, variety of weird circumstances. We ended up in this band singing, right? But I realized driving home one day after buying funny books that I wanted to write songs that make chubby teenage boys want to punch each other in the face. That's really where my heart is.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I honestly want the same thing. I want men beating each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we do this.
Girls 2-stepping, dudes throwing spin kicks. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And that's for me, that's what it was. I realized that the thing I really wanted to do was make the guitar make ugly noises, right? Breakdowns, like playing a hardcore band. I love writing songs, writing melodies and all that. Like that's a whole different challenge structurally, artistically. Like that's a whole different art form almost, or at least such a different approach, right? Like, would you agree?
Oh yeah, no,
like
absolutely.
Doing verse, chorus, verse, trying to write the hook or whatever. Totally different from writing like a hardcore song that has movements, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. You know what I mean? And like, what do we got to do to justify the breakdown happening?
Yeah, because we always want to break down, but it's just like you have to earn it. You have to earn that shit. Yeah.
And then how many songs can be verse, chorus, verse out of the group of songs? Like it's a way more composition is way more involved for this than it is just like, write the 10 best songs you can. Like that's a different kind of hard.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it too. Just a different, going back to this kind of challenge after so many years of doing the other thing.
Hell yeah.
Nikki, why did you want to? Because you'd never screamed in a band before.
No.
Why did you want to?
Because I wanted to relive my 16-year-old self in my mid-30s. Like basically. So it's like I remember being young, going to hardcore shows and being like, oh my God, that's so badass. Like I want to be able to scream and yell at people and like just the energy that it can like control a room. Like I was obsessed with it. And but I wouldn't really consider myself like a good singer or vocalist. Like I can hold a note. I can hold a fucking note. But like, I grew up in like Southwest Louisiana. My dad is a preacher, evangelical preacher. I grew up in like the dirty South where church was everything. And I grew up with a lot of talented gospel church singers or like church singers that have that beautiful voice, that range that can go every which way. So I'm not that person. But for me, like, I think there is something creative and tangible about hardcore that says like, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And that thing has to be unique in a way, like something that's distinct or catchy. I think for me, like I really wanted the challenge of like I had mentioned before, I played bass a lot. I really like playing bass. I love bass. But it's not the front person. You're not getting typically like all the attention. And I like that. But now I'm also like, okay, well, what if I'm really kind of spearheading like the lyrics? What if I'm really picking like the sound is the sound, but I'm engineering the message, like the lyrical message behind it, which for me is like really exciting. Like I love writing poetry, fiction, whatever. So playing with the writing and then trying to add that to music has been really fun for me.
Does it do something different from just like playing bass and you know what I mean? Like internally for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think with bass, I'm comfortable because I've just been doing it for so long, but also like the way that unless I don't know, my finger, like I've got a giant ass blister and something's popped, it's like my physical body or how I'm feeling is not so dependent upon my performance in a way. Whereas when I'm screaming, there are times if I haven't taken care of myself the day of a show by like hydrating properly, doing those things where when I played bass, I could fucking have 3 beers and play and be fine. And now it's like if I can't have a beer before, I yell. Otherwise, by the second to last song, like and you feel it so much in your body. So there's so much more body discipline. How I breathe, how before it's like, you want the bass to be louder, play harder, or turn up the knob. And for me now, it's like I have to project harder if I want to make those sounds. And it's physically taxing. Like it's a fucking workout. I'm a lazy ass bitch. This is the hardest workout I do is yelling, and I call it exercise. So,
I mean, it's harder on guitar. It just physically is harder. I mean, that's part on purpose. I would be lying if I said me and Chuck don't sit sometimes when we're working on stuff thinking, all right, so how can we make this harder? Not
yeah, y'all
more
do that.
technically difficult necessarily. That's not necessarily what harder means, but something that's going to be surprising and hit hard. And sometimes that's like, a super fast stop, or you have to throw in a blast beat here, or so it's all stuff that is going to be in some way physically demanding. Playing the heavy jun 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 guitar with all the weird dissonances is more physically demanding, and I have to think about melody and percussion in a different way than when the guitar is an accompaniment instrument to a voice. Like the in my mind, right, the melody in a band with screaming vocals and stuff is coming from the guitar, and a lot of that melody, air quotes, is kind of up to how you perceive the internal relationships of the dissonance inside the guitar bits, right? So like so much of that is gobbledygook to most people, right? They're just going to hear dun, 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 and like that is harder to do, and it's harder to process like mentally, like sonically, if you're whipping yourself around like an idiot and I'm gonna and like you're trying to play well and listen also. That is very different from standing there and playing guitar and singing along to the guitar, right? Like it's just harder. It just is different and harder. And I kind of like that it's harder to do. That's satisfying in a way. People I think like the experience of operating at their peak capacity. So it's like, what's the best, most aggressive, coolest thing we can do here? Like, what's the limit we can take it to?
I always feel like that with hardcore. Like it's music that it's like it's like Pied Piper music, right? Like it's making people do shit. It's crazy.
It's dance music. It is.
It
dance
really
music.
is.
Yeah.
It is physical body music.
It is like
Right.
it's fucking church music. Like let's be honest. It's like
It's Western, right?
I am playing off of you. I want to evoke an emotion from the crowd, and then I want to build on that. And then
it's the chemistry you're holding with them.
yeah,
Like,
you have to be in communion with them. Like yes, like we always say we have like this mindset of like when we get on stage, it doesn't matter what show we're doing, what bands played before, how they sounded. Like when we get up, we're gonna do our thing. Like, we're going to be us. We're going to be fucking loud. And like, if you like it, that's awesome. And if you don't, I'm so sorry, but we're going to do this thing. But also that means that I'm going to do this thing. And then like, as a band, like we're going to command the room. Like, if you're going to be in this space, this is our time now. And like, you know,
like you're invited in, but it's trash diva time.
Right. Yeah. Like we're hosting a party. It's like a DJ. Like we've got the beat going. Like how loud are we going to get? How crazy we're going to go? You know, it's kind of depends on how the crowd is and how like much they want to go along with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. Yeah. I always think of that like that. I always think of it that way with hardcore music. It's just like, and then the other thing is like some bands like I feel this way all the time. Like it's I've described it as like I said hardcore is like doing PCP. Like it makes some people crazy. Like like normal people they would never act like this way, or they might think they're like a hell of a lot stronger or tougher than they really are. Like that's what like, it's the charm of music. I feel like.
Oh yeah. When I describe some of my favorite show moments to non-punk people and non-hardcore people, it is almost universally met with disdain or disgust. You know what I mean? Some kind of apprehension. There's no one likes to hear about it. I went to see like the time I went to see Scowl and Zulu, and the guy from Zulu was just spin kicking people in the front row in the face before the band started. Like the guitars are feeding back and the drummers getting comfortable, and he's straight up just kicking people in the face before they even before they even play a note. Bass player wasn't even on stage, and he's just kicking dudes in the face. It's awesome. It's terrible to do. No one deserves that. It's a terrible thing to do, and I recognize that, but it's undeniably awesome. He then climbed up on a balcony and jumped on people's heads. It was awesome. Greg from Dillinger Escape Plan used to breathe fire inside. You can't do that anymore. That's so dangerous. That's so irresponsible, and it's so awesome. It's undeniably, it rules. What are you saying? Dudes are spin kicking each other. That kicks ass, and it's so bad for you. I can't defend it, but it rules. I love it. I don't know. Sorry.
And people like they'll take it and be like, yeah, okay, you know, like there's like an understanding, I think, with it. You know,
either you get it or you don't. I went to see our friends War Games and Scalar this past weekend here in Baltimore, and was getting knocked around in the front by a bunch of kids who were easily less than half my age, just like smashing into me, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It wasn't like, oh, why are they bumping into me? Ow, my knees. I loved it. Giant smile. I got a little bit misty eyed because I just loved it so much. And like, no joke. It's just it's either you get it or you don't, And
it's one of those things because people think of it like they see it in like such a negative sense, but it's like if there's someone off in the back corner who doesn't, and like people respect that and won't like someone's not gonna march through the crowd for that one person who's trying to be okay in the back corner. You know what I mean? Like like there's a so like if you're in it, what's gonna happen.
And all these people, like they're all like the dudes who slam into me and then check. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm pit
fine.
Etiquette, right? For sure.
Accidentally took a spin kick to the bread basket, and the dude was like, "You all right?" I am fine. Absolutely, kick away, sir.
Like,
I was like.
Oh,
I remember in like the late 80s, my buddy was like, oh yeah, this is what moshing is. And I was like, oh, cool. We tried. And I was a little kid and we tried. I'm like so much bigger. I'm 6'5". I'm a giant. Right. So like,
you're a big guy.
I remember being like 8 years old and like I sent my buddy flying. And I'm like, this isn't for me. Like, I was like but I'll stand there and I'll help people up. And you know what I mean? Like,
that's
I feel
what
like
I like to do.
At one point, like, I'm like, I'm just too big to be fucking smashing into people like that. So it's I'll be the guy who like, you guys can run into me and I'll just pick people up who fall and make sure they're good. And like, I had that was my thing for many, many years going to shows. Like I was just that guy who stood on the outside of the pit and make sure people were getting up safe, Well, now I'm old. I'll fucking break a hip or something.
I can't do the pit anymore. I'm too old.
I still love to play pit goalie. That is my favorite position. Just be on the edge, make sure like, that when that dude's doing those flying fists, right? He doesn't mean to be hopping to the left. Eventually he's going to bump into me and go, oh, there's the edge. All right, sorry. I don't want to hit this girl that's over here a couple feet just trying to watch the band, right? Like you got to have people watching The Edge. I enjoy that very much. Can I tell you
I
real
always
quick
liked that.
my story about how I learned about what a mosh pit was? I don't know if I've ever told you this, Nikki.
No, go for it.
Okay, so I have a cousin who took me in was this the 7th grade, I think, to Creation Fest, which was a big Christian music festival.
Oh, I know.
DC
Creation
Talk was
Fest.
one of the headliners.
Hell
It was
yeah.
awesome.
Jesus
DC
freak.
Yeah, I got one of their towels because I was so young. I was like,
was
it's
this
not like
when
I
they were
was like
doing
that into,
hip-hop?
huh?
Or is this when they became like a
Well, they were still hip hop then.
They were still hip.
hip-hop.
They were like that dirty rock. Yeah.
Do you see how fast I was like? No, they were still hip hop. Like
No. They
defending-
were.
I'm defending my DC Talk cred. Anyway, so we went to the Christian festival, and my cousin is already into like Anthrax and SOD and all this stuff. I had no idea. I didn't listen to any of that music. I thought that rock and roll had died in the 80s with hair metal. Like, I didn't think there were rock bands anymore. That's a whole other thing. Anyway, he's trying to explain to me, listen, there's a side stage, and there are going to be metal bands. And there's probably going to be moshing, and there's going to be a mosh pit. And I was like, what is a mosh pit? And he tried to describe it to me. He's like, oh, well, there's like a hole that opens up in the crowd, and like people, get in there, and they kind of bat each other around. It's like, well, how do you get out of the pit? It's like, oh, you just get out of the pit. It's like, or you don't. Then maybe you can't get out of the pit. And I swear to God, I was imagining like an empty swimming pool bowl in the floor with a hole in the center of it. And that motherfuckers were just disappearing into the hole,
the actual literal
as like a
pit.
band is playing, and people were just
into the
like,
pits of hell. Like
yeah, just go into who knows where, and people were like, "C'est la vie, next band's on in 15." And I was like, that sounds so bad. Take me now. I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. That's where I saw my first punk and metal bands.
See, it created a monster, is what it did, right?
Apparently, that's just either you're into it or you're not. And as it turns out, even when I thought I was going to die, I was like, okay, so it's a mosh pit, you say? I would like to see it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I wanted to bring this up too. The song Queens, it opens with "I can't dance, but I can kick your boyfriend's ass." It's the hardest flex ever. I love it.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that line.
I wish I had one.
That one, that was like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, like that one got me just from that. That was like the hook for me for that song. I was like, and then I had to go back and listen because I just focused on that one line.
Yeah, that one line. Yeah.
So
I wish I had one nearby. We had made shirts that had Elvira on the front, and then that line in giant block white letters on the back, like huge, the entire back, which it never occurred to us that a lot of people would be like, I don't really want to walk around with a threat on my back, just threatening the boyfriends of every man in whatever place I go to.
Fuck every boyfriend.
Yeah, right. Whereas I
didn't say husband. I said boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was very specific.
Yeah. We were like, fuck him. Put it on the back of the shirt. Didn't occur to us.
I like it. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So you guys are playing Rally in the Valley this year, right? Did you play last year too?
We did not play last year. We played up there for I don't remember if it had a name as a fest or if it was just an all-day event that Scott did. But we went up and played last spring, and it was sick. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you guys, Snappy McGee's or Snapper McGee's, whatever you guys played there.
The funniest name.
It was a weird name.
It's one of those.
It was a cool venue.
Spots where, like, with a name like that, it's either going to be like the worst place ever, or it's the coolest place in that area for 20 miles or more, and it's that one. It's such a cool place. The people are cool. The spot's cool. The sound is good. It's cool. Snappers is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, did you guys go up there for like a one-off, or you like kind of hitting a couple shows?
Just drove up and played and drove back. Scott was like, "Can you play?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we can do it.
Did you do any? Did you guys just came up here? Yeah, you didn't book a weekend? No.
No.
If we can get there and you ask us to play, we will come and play.
Oh,
we're not reasonable people. I'm not in a hardcore band at 45 because I'm reasonable and everything went right. So if you're like, you want to do a 12-hour drive? Yeah, I'll bring my amp. Let's fucking go already. When's load in? Let's go. I need details.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you do this because you love it, right? Like that's the point of this whole thing.
Yeah, good Lord. If you didn't, why would you? It's too hard. It's much too hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome. So
even now, when people are like, I'm thinking about starting a band, I'm like, don't. Don't do it. If you're just thinking about it, don't do it. If you need to do it,
if you have to do it,
then
do it.
Then go do it. You don't need to talk to me about it, right? But I'm thinking about it. Oh, then don't think of something else because it's too hard and you'll hate it.
Yeah, I've tried my hat at like trying to write lyrics. I just can't. Like
It's hard.
There's too many words. I have too many
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, I know, right? That was
like
my least favorite part of being my second least favorite part of being a singer in a band. I didn't like all that attention, as it turns out. I would rather just make guitar go jun 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 and occasionally but like also that's a lot of words to write, and as it turns out, I don't have that much to say. I hit a point where I was like,
that's
I
my
think
problem.
I
I have
said
too
it all.
many words. Like I don't know how to narrow it down. Like I
Oh.
wrote
Yeah, I'm
something
more
like
with
this
you.
is-
Yeah, I have too much
it's
to
just
say.
like,
Okay. I got plenty
It's
of riffs, but words, that's Nikki's
Yeah.
department.
I got too much shit to say. It's like finding what makes sense, what isn't a cliche, what isn't just me like going off on a fucking tangent that's really funny to like me and 3 people and not like feasible for lyric, you know? Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I think this will be so great in a song. It's such an original thing. And I'm like, bitch, that is like should be in a comic book. Like a character should be saying that. Like it's cute, but it's not for this band, you know.
I'm such a nerd about stuff. Like I wrote a treatment for a song like years ago, and I didn't know how to. I was like, "This is too many words," and like I ended up just like this past year, it went on as a spoken word poem kind of thing for like this for this comp. But
There
like I had no like I was like I just can't figure that out. Like that's the whole goal. Once I figure out how to write a song, podcast is over. Like,
Yeah, you're done.
Like, yeah, I'm just using you all to try to figure this shit out. You know what I mean? So like, but like, I just, it's just tough, man. It's just, I have, like I said, there's just too many words, and I don't hear the sound, right? Like when you come up with a riff, like it starts with that. I don't get that. One time I did, and I bought a fucking drum machine so I could figure it out, and I couldn't figure out how to operate the goddamn thing. I couldn't plug it into I was trying to plug it into my interface, and I'm like, and it's like a $300 thing. It sits in the corner, dust collector. That's all it is now.
Yep.
So that bass, I had this drum beat in my head though one time, and I failed.
That's tough. It's hard to learn to catch those.
The lightning in a bottle, yeah.
David Lynch has a great book called Catching the Big Fish. It's all these like short meditations about meditation and also creativity and catching ideas. And it is very much like they're slippery fishes, and some of them are real little, and they get away way too easily. It's hard.
Yeah, you just gotta sit and just like I think sometimes the big overwhelming thing about creating anything, whether it's like music, writing, is like sitting down to do the thing, not knowing what's gonna happen. And so it's like if you're a painter, you just gotta fucking touch the canvas. If you're a writer, you gotta punch the keys. If you are a band, you just gotta start playing shit and like see what happens. And that's scary and it's vulnerable. And typically but that's the part of the creation process where kind of like you're saying, you just do that. And eventually, hopefully, you catch that like moment where it's like, oh, that was perfect, whatever we just did. Like that sound or that, like we were just fucking around, but that riff is like badass. We could make a song out of that.
Right on. Yeah. Let me ask you with the live recording for the DCxPC live album. Like obviously you guys knew it was going to be recorded that night for this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we set it up.
Yeah. Does it add pressure? Did it add like pressure to like the whole thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you guys like it was business as usual for you guys. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure if Chuck were here, he would say something along the lines of, "I'm a taskmaster, no matter what. So, like, if we're playing to one person or 1,000 people, I'm going to be the same. Like, we're not setting up fast enough. We're taking too long. We need to go right now. Chuck, start the song. We need to get this one. All right, when we do the set, I want to make sure like it's gonna the approach is the same no matter what. Very much for me that's a black flag thing, right? Like having read Get in the Van at a very impressionable age while on tour in my 20s. Like the idea of like Chuck Dukowski telling Henry Rollins like there's 6 people or 600 doesn't matter. Like they're there to see Black Flag. You deliver Black Flag.
Yeah,
so, like
you do the thing that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, right. I left my house to go be in Trash Diva. Like, why would I show up and only be like 6/10 of Trash Diva? What's the point for anyone? You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, and I think. I was gonna say too. I think like for the live album, which hopefully like it comes across. I think it does. Like every show we do, we try to be purposeful about like what I call like dead silence, or like, the moments where the guitars have to retune and things. Like those moments are gonna happen in a band, but like if we can make them as quick as fucking possible and like fill the dead space with not just nonsense, like I don't know.
The Ramones approach.
Right. Yeah.
Basically.
Like we're moving as quick as we can, but like, okay, like we're going to play this four songs, break. It gives me just enough time to catch my breath, interact with the crowd a little bit. Okay, go again. And then next time we take a break, it's like pointing back out to the other bands that have played, merch that we have, boom, end show. It's almost like you're thinking about it as a production or as a performance, like not just one song at a time, but like from start to finish. Yeah, it's like almost like you're clocking in and you're clocking out.
Yeah.
And it's like once we're on stage, like we're on stage and we're going to try our best to do the thing that you came to see us do as quickly as possible.
Oh, because it's about efficiency ultimately, efficiency of communication, right? That's what it's art. It's about communication, and we want to be as efficient and direct and clear as possible, and get that thing, whatever that thing is, across. And that thing doesn't involve a lot of hemming and hawing and umming and so let's hear it again for open. Like just what do we do? That's not very hardcore. That's not very. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of energy there. So like we're not trying to ignore people. We don't not talk to the audience, but there is very much an intentional like. If we need to change our tuning for certain songs, they're going to be grouped together so that we know there's a break here and there's a break here, and that's when you get to breathe and drink water, and otherwise it's we're going.
But Trev, to kind of answer your question, for me, knowing that it was going to be recorded made me a little more nervous. I think I would have been less nervous if I was just playing bass, but knowing like, oh shit, like if I'm going to hit that scream and it's going to be off a little bit, everyone's going to hear it. It's going to be terrible. But also it's like when I started, it was just another show and I couldn't think about it being recorded, if that makes sense. Like you're just doing the performance and hope it turns out good.
And so we originally were supposed to have recorded a set at the Pie Shop in DC. That's when we originally spoke to Scott. We were playing with a band who was recording their set. I forget now which number it was that it came out, but those guys were recording their set. And then Scott hit us up like, "Hey, you're playing. You guys are great. You want to do a thing?" And the recording did not work. Like it didn't happen. Like the USB stick that it was supposed to go to, it didn't write or whatever. So we got all the jitters out on that one. Then we had to schedule another show to record. And then fortunately we were able to do it here in Baltimore at our friend's studio / event space. It's awesome. Like it's awesome. Like surely the Watermelon Room in Baltimore. It's great. I know you have seen the original 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the Foot Clan hangout, it's like a weird concrete warehouse and stuff. So imagine if they had like a nice theater, but it was still like a weird concrete warehouse, but it's the nice theater.
Right.
That's kind of the vibe of the Watermelon Room space, which is awesome. And then also it is a fully functioning, fully outfitted multi-track studio with like a control room up on the second floor that overlooks, there's a stage with lights, full production, and then you can multi-track record everything. And Garrett, who runs it, is a homie of mine, and we've done a bunch of projects together. Because I'm also a recording, mixing, and mastering engineer. I didn't have to worry. It's Garrett, so I don't have to worry about any of that. So that would have been the stuff I would have been as the recording dork. That's the thing I would have been maybe worried about even more so than our set.
Yeah.
But didn't have to worry for Garrett. So luckily I got to just play. And
you didn't have to be producer and musician.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
So this is the first time Trash Diva's going on vinyl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the self-title, you guys had a cassette?
Yep. The self-titled EP is on a cassette because that seemed like a fun idea.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love the I think cassettes are like, I think of them as just like art pieces, like, you know what I mean?
They're decorative. Yeah. Like I have them around my house. Like I love a little cassette shape.
Yeah. They're fun little object art.
Yeah. I like it. I do have a cassette player too, though. So once in a while I'll break that out and listen to some,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I just sent the guy, there was a band that was in the record club, and he's like, hey, I also got their first EP on cassette. I'm like, oh, all right, let me snag some. So I sent everybody one of those too, like a little bonus,
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think there's something I just like. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing, right? That's like
I think that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. But I also think that just genre wise, sometimes some stuff just sounds right on a certain format. Like if you're gonna listen to like a garage rock band and it's on vinyl, that's gonna sound right.
Yeah.
If you listen to like some like crusty punk or hardcore or like some real nasty boom bap hip hop type stuff on a cassette, it sounds right.
It slaps.
Yeah.
If you've got some heavy bass EDM, you want it on a CD for all that high headroom because it's going to sound right.
New metal. I don't want to hear new metal on anything but a CD.
Yeah,
You know
right.
Like,
because that's what it was.
That's what it was made for.
Yeah, that's when it was made and what it was made for. So I kind of there's some like, man, it's hard to beat Minor Threat dubbed to a cassette. It's hard to beat the first Dead Kennedys album dubbed to a cassette. It just feels and sounds correct to me.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
I think if I have one complaint about vinyl now is like you don't hear those pops anymore, right? You don't.
Yeah, they're really good now. Like
they really cleaned it up.
Shocked by how like the pressing of our live LP, I think, is one of the best sounding pressings of any project I've ever mixed or mastered for vinyl. Like it sounds great, and I'm not just saying that because it's our record. Yeah, it's a super clean, great sounding pressing. Modern pressings are awesome.
Yeah, Scott does just like with live, because like I was for a long time. I'm like, yeah, live recordings. Like again, like I'm used to like the little like bootlegs you'd get at like the record shops.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
Yep.
So like I'm like, yeah, I'm not totally. There's a couple newer ones out there that I really like, and then when I met Scott and like I started hearing his stuff, I'm like, man, how do you do that?
It just live records. Really, they used to be like, it was recorded on a cassette from the board and they press it onto a flexi and include it with a magazine, right? They always used to sound awful, but like, God, Scott's stuff sounds fantastic. It's so cool now to have such good access to live recordings, like audio and video. There's so many good sets of bands just on YouTube. You can go find 10 of your new favorite bands and watch them play, a full set for free on the internet. It's incredible.
Right. Before you would have to have a whole video crew, production team, like all that.
And then it would still suck. It would still
it would still not be that great. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in with the record coming out, is it out? It's not out yet, right?
Not yet. I don't know when this episode will air, but it's up for pre-order right now. It comes out officially April 12th. Rally in the Valley is the official.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is going to be like the week or two before it will drop.
Cool.
So people will be able to still pre-order.
Sweet.
Like, so and like with this one, Scott does a really good job at capturing the vibe, the chemistry of the show too. Like,
yeah.
I think that's one of the, I think he's just got an ear for that. He's got a knack for it. I don't know what he does after the recording, like how he goes through it and decides, but like everything he does, like I can like, it feels like I'm almost there. And I definitely felt it while listening to this one. The other thing was like, I didn't realize it was like, Mace, the other band, Mace, right? Is it Mace? It's a different place. It's a different venue. It's a different everything. And I'm like, it felt like it was one show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to listen to it. Like, cool. It's just it's an amazing quality to have. Like, I think, so.
I can't speak to what Scott and the engineer that he generally works with do, but I can tell you as the person that mixed and mastered the Trash Diva side, I had done a pass and I felt pretty good about it. Mm-hmm. And then I heard the Mace side and I went, I could do a little better. Whatever Scott's guy did, I need to
step your game up.
I need to step it up. I thought we were here. No, it turns out we need to be here, which was great. Like now it turned out better. They sound great. It's, I love how it sounds and I love the Mace side. It's so good.
They're so good.
But yeah, just Scott and his team of people that he works with, they know how to do it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So what's in the tank for you guys? What's next? Like, is there another album coming?
So we're writing songs for a new record right now. We've got 6, 7?
6, 7.
6 or 7. 6, 7, it's a new number that we've invented for this record. We've got I think 6 or 7 in various stages of like
we've got them loaded in the chamber. I think like lyrically I'm still working and building on some of those, but I'm excited. Like
they range from stuff that we are playing at our next show to things that need to still have like a part worked out and get some vocals, you know. So
some
like
need a
it's
little more baking.
yeah, it's probably like 60. A new record is probably 60% there. We've got a release show here in Baltimore for the live album on April 9th. And we are, I think, supposed to be playing a festival on April 10th, but that hasn't been announced publicly yet. So I'm going to hold off on saying what it is, but that should be cool. And then the 11th will be at Rally in the Valley.
Nice.
And then we're doing a run in June with our friends Cold Vein out to Ohio and back. That should be cool. So just trying to book more shows, you know, get out of Dodge, play out of Baltimore, go jun, and ring,
more
ring.
shit. Yeah.
Get fat kids in other states to punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
You know, just deliver the word.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're doing a good job this year. I think a big goal is playing, like expanding our play radius. You know, we've stomped around the DC Baltimore area a while, but I feel like after a while, nobody from Baltimore gives a fuck you're from Baltimore until you play somewhere else, and they're like, "Hey, you're one of us.
Yeah,
Come back here.
over here.
Get back over here so we can love you."
Well, and part the like, oh, you guys got a new record yet? Have I seen this set before? And like, that's fair. Like, you know, like we work new stuff in all the time, but like people have that attitude about local bands, like the bands.
Well,
in
they don't
want to
see the same band play the same songs for 2 years.
Even like my friend's band, like I might not see them 3 weeks in a row, right? Because like I just saw you do that set. So you know, you gotta get out of town and you gotta write new stuff. So those are the two big goals. That's what we're doing this year. So far, so good.
That's awesome. Well, I would love to have you all back on when there's a new record or a new single, whatever. If you guys want to come back, let me know. And I love meeting new people when it comes to this shit, because like it's as broad and wide as it goes, but like it's almost like it's always like a close knit community with everybody, and you know, and I really do. I enjoy your music, and I would love to have you all back on.
We would love to be back.
A good time.
Yeah, awesome. Like meeting cool other punks is what it's ultimately what being punk is about, right? And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter age, location. We're all in the same tent. Like, come on in, you know.
And if you guys are gonna play like out this way, let me know. Like
for sure.
Massachusetts, Boston, you know, whatever.
We will find a way to make it happen. Like I said, and you're like, hey, will you come play here? Yeah, if we can get there. I know we can get to Boston. I know how long that takes. Yeah. We can do it.
We can do it. Awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. Where can people find Trash Diva on the internet, social media? Where can they find your music? Where can they purchase your music? I always like to push that one because we all deserve, you know, a little bit of something for our art, you know.
Well, thank you. The best place is trashdiva.bandcamp.com. You can order you can pre-order the live album. You can get the cassette. We're getting new shirts.
Oh, show off the new shirt. Yeah. 2 mics.
Oh, 2 mics. We'll have these up soon.
Nice.
All kind of fun merch there. We're also on the Instagram at TrashDivaHC, where you can find video content whenever we remember to post it. I don't know. Like we're so bad at that. Like we'll get to practice on Wednesday. Be like, remember, we need to post something on Instagram.
We need to take a picture as a band together,
right? And then we work on songs and we practice, and then it's 10 o'clock and we all leave, and I get home and go, fuck,
we're old.
Yeah, I do the same. Like I try to post it just doesn't always happen. You know?
Yeah,
it's like
I'm getting
like I know I have to, like I do it. You know, I try to do it again for like the guests of the show that week and everything.
Yeah,
but like
promotion.
Sometimes like life just gets fucking in the way, and I'm just like, you know. But
it's tough to do.
Yeah,
hell yeah. But we do what we can, and we support each other. That's what matters. I guess,
that's right.
You know?
That's what I mean. Again, that's what it's all. That's what it's about. That's what we're doing here, right? Community building. It's being a bunch of weirdos together. If it's not about that, then it's just commerce.
Yeah.
And if it's just commerce, it's just capitalism. And at that point, I don't know, start a country band, I guess. Like, get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing? What's the point?
Right on. Mike, Nikki, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me today.
Trevor, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
I'm excited to hear what's next. Seriously. So
thank you so much. I hope to be back sometime soon.
We'll come back.